Hi friends, welcome back. Let us see the branches of the superior mesenteric artery. Clear? So the first branch which arises from the superior mesenteric artery is this branch. You can see here this one. Look carefully. I will name this branch. This branch arises from the superior mesenteric artery. I am mentioning it like this. So this branch is called the common pancreato-duodenal artery. Why it is called common? Because it is giving two branches like this. One going anteriorly and one going posteriorly, right? So this branch is going towards the pancreas and the duodenum, and this branch is also coming towards the pancreas from inferior side and duodenum, right? So that's why we call it the common pancreato-duodenal artery. Why we call it common? I told you, and we will see next also. So the first branch which arises from this superior mesenteric artery is called the common pancreato-duodenal artery. Right friends, this is our first branch which arises from it, and let's see what we can write about it. Clear? So this artery arises at lower border of, or at the level of inferior border of the head of pancreas. So it arises at level of inferior border of pancreas. Okay, then the next important thing about it is that this artery arises behind the neck and head of pancreas, right? Behind neck and head of pancreas. These 2 points are clear, I hope. Now look, then the branches of this artery, the further branches of it, let me write here as I'm using the different color to mention that these branches are the branches of the common pancreato-duodenal artery. So look carefully. When this artery arises, this is our common pancreato-duodenal artery. When this artery arises, it gives off a branch like this here, and it gives another branch like this. Clear friends? So one branch comes to the anterior side of the pancreas, and one branch goes to the posterior side of the pancreas, the head of the pancreas, right? So if we make the pancreas here like this is the head of the pancreas, and you know other parts there. So there will be an inferior pancreato-duodenal artery, and there will be a posterior pancreato-duodenal artery. Clear? So the sub branches of this artery will be the interior pancreato-duodenal artery. So it gives off which branches? Let me write here. It gives off posterior pancreato-duodenal artery and an anterior pancreato-duodenal artery. These two are the sub branches of this common pancreato-duodenal artery. Once again, let's focus here. This is our common pancreato-duodenal artery, and this common pancreato-duodenal artery will give an anterior pancreato-duodenal artery and a posterior pancreato-duodenal artery, and from it there will be branches towards the duodenum, right, like this, right? And there will be also the head of the pancreas. So we say that this artery is responsible to supply blood. It supply blood to what? To head of pancreas. It supplies blood to head of pancreas and distal part, or we say and to duodenum distal to, book says distal to ampulla of water. So the parts of the duodenum which are present distal to or inferior to the ampulla of water, this part is supplied by this pancreato, this common pancreato-duodenal artery. So here will be our ampulla of water. This is the part where the pancreatic duct opens into the duodenum. So the distal parts of the duodenum distal to the ampulla of water, this is supplied by this common pancreato-duodenal artery. So this was the first branch from the superior mesenteric artery. Clear, friends? Then another important thing, look carefully. This artery also gives another anastomosing branch which is going towards the first Geogenal artery. Look, this artery is our first Geogenal artery. So you can see this anastomosing branch has come behind the distal part or behind the ascending part of the duodenum. It has come from this artery. Look, this is the posterior pancreato-duodenal artery, and it is giving an anastomosing branch towards the first Geogenal artery. So let me write also here that it gives off an anastomosing branch, right? It gives off an anastomosing branch to first Geogenal artery. Clear? And from it there are small branches towards the ascending, you can say towards the ascending duodenum, right? And supplies blood to ascending part of duodenum, or you can say also to the last part of the duodenum. So this was the first branch which is given by this superior mesenteric artery, which is called the common pancreato-duodenal artery. Clear, friends? Next, the next branch you can see here, this one. This branch is called our middle colic artery, and this branch will be discussed here. Look, this is our middle colic artery, and I will discuss this branch later while we finish all these branches. Clear, friends? Okay, next branch. The next branch is, you can see here, friends, if I'm standing like this, right? So these branches will be towards the left side, and some branches arise from it towards the right side, right? So we say that the left-sided branches. Then we will discuss the right-sided branches which arise from this superior mesenteric artery. So you can see here, after these two branches, right, after these two, which are the common pancreato-duodenal artery and the middle colic artery, the branches are going towards the left side and some branches are coming towards the right side, right? So the left side branches are very simple, and they are called the Geogenal branches, right? As we know that this is the Geogenal part of the small intestine, and this is the ileal part of the small intestine, right? So the branches are going towards the Geogenal and towards the ileum. That's why we call these branches the Geogenal branches, right? So let me write first of all here that the left-sided branches, and then we will discuss the right-sided branches also, and we will see the middle colic artery also there, right? So the left-sided branches are combinedly called as the Geogenal and ileal branches. Right. So the Geogenal and the ileal branches. So how many branches are these? These are about 12 to 15, or some books say that 12 to 17 or 18 branches. So we say that 12 to 17 branches which arise from the superior mesenteric artery on the left side. So they are called the Geogenal and ileal branches, which may be from 12 to 17 branches, and these branches pass through Geogenum right, Geogenum and ileum, right. These branches pass through Geogenum and ileum, and what do they do further forward? Look carefully, friends. Look, these are the branches which are called the Geogeno and ileal branches, right? So these first branches from the superior mesenteric artery which arise directly from it, right? So these small branches are called the Geogeno-ileal branches, which are going towards the Geogenum and ileum, right? Then what do? When they come little bit towards the left side, they are making anastomosing branches like this, look, and these are called the arcades or arcs or the loops, right? So these are, let me write here, these are the Geogeno-ileal branches, ileal branches. Okay, done. Then, and these are called the arcades, or we can also call them loops, arcades or loops. Let me write it here, or anastomosing branches. So when they pass through the Geogenum and ileum, right, they make anastomosing branches. They make anastomosing branches called arcades or loops. Okay, then what happens? Then from these arcades or loops, you can see these branches are going directly and attaching towards the Geogenum and ileum, towards the small intestine with this, and enters the mass or the tissues of the small intestine and the Geogenum and ileum. So these branches which arise from these arcades, these branches are called the straight arteries, right? Or our book says that these are called the vasa recta. Recta means straight, vasa means vessels, right? Okay, then what do? Then they give off vasa recta, right? Vasa recta, or they are called as straight arteries. Straight arteries. Clear, friends? So let's repeat it. Let's repeat it again. There is the common pancreato-duodenal artery. Then there is the middle colic artery. Then on the left side, there are about 12 to 17 branches, and these branches are called the Geogeno-ileal branches, right? Because they are moving towards the Geogenum and ileum, that's why we call it Geogeno-ileal branches. And from these branches, when move forward and pass through the Geogenum and ileum, they make anastomosing branches, and these branches are called the arcades or loops. And from these arcades, you can see these straight branches which are going towards the Geogenum and ileum and entering the mass or the tubes to supply blood to the layers of the Geogenum and ileum or the small intestine. These branches are called the straight arteries, right, or vasa recta. So let me write here like this. These are called the vasa recta. Clear, friends? So these all branches are called the vasa recta branches. Clear, friends? Okay, so these branches are present in the left side of the superior mesenteric artery. Now let us discuss the branches which arises from it on the right side of the superior mesenteric artery, and let's see what do they do. So see you in the next lecture.